As I drove into the office this morning, I could see signs of preparation for business resumption today. No matter where you live, I'm sure you have seen some retail businesses that are opening their doors to customers. Perhaps parents who are planning to cautiously drop their children off at daycare or an out-of-school care program. In communities outside of Calgary and Brooks, coffee shops and restaurants are able to open at 50% capacity, while others, including those in Calgary and Brooks, are choosing to continue to offer pick-up or take-out options. Hair salons and barbers are taking appointments or preparing to welcome customers. For Brooks and Calgary, these businesses will be able to resume on May 25th. I understand having to wait the extra 10 days is frustrating for residents of these communities. The reason for this 10-day wait is to allow us to monitor any increase in spread caused by the opening of retail, daycares, and other activities in these communities where there is a higher baseline rate. Although a full incubation period for COVID is 14 days, in other jurisdictions where reopening has started, it has been possible to see a rapid rise within 7 days where there have been problems. This relaunch will require patience from all of us and continued practice of public health measures so we can continue with our relaunch plans as quickly as possible. Businesses starting to reopen does not mean it's back to normal. We will need to support each other's health and safety by practicing physical distancing, frequent hand washing, and other measures. This will not change, and this is our new normal. If you are a business owner, please know that you have flexibility in choosing the right time to open after the stage that your business is in begins. And you must feel confident that you are reopening at a time that is safe for you, your staff, and your patrons. I know many business owners and facility operators have questions about what they can do to help mitigate the risks. At the same time, Albertans have asked for greater reassurance that the businesses and facilities they visit are following public health precautions. That is why, as a part of the relaunch strategy, we are requiring anyone who is reopening to identify what they are doing at their site to reduce the risk of transmission. Within 7 days of opening, businesses must fill out a short template that can be found online at the BizConnect site and post it at their place of business or online. Places of worship and funeral services will be required to do the same. This action is intended to give a clearer sense of what measures are appropriate for each location, and to reassure customers and staff that each business is taking appropriate action to protect their health and safety. I do think that with more people out and about and interacting, there are more opportunities, more chances that virus could spread. But the more that we all together can follow the advice, can keep distant, can wear masks, can wash our hands, the less likely we will see a sudden spike and increase in cases. So what I'm hoping for is that we will see cases that they may go up a little bit, but that we'll be able, through our collective actions, to keep those numbers relatively flat. That would be my hope. And I guess we will watch and see. As I said earlier, although the full incubation period is 14 days from exposure, we can see increases in cases within 5 to 7 days of a change in people's habits and patterns, because you can start to see cases again within a few days of exposure. So I think by late next week we should have a reasonable idea if we're going to see a sudden sharp increase. But again, my hope would be that we keep the numbers relatively flat. In the coming days and weeks, we can expect more and more Albertans to be out and about, eating at restaurants, walking through shopping malls, and visiting museums, as well as enjoying some of Alberta's beautiful trails and park systems. In these public spaces, physical distancing might not always be possible. However, wearing non-medical masks can help limit your exposure and protect those around you. Remember, even if you are feeling fine and showing no signs of symptoms, you may still be able to transmit the virus to others if you have been exposed. Wearing a mask in public settings is a useful measure to protect those around you. The mask will keep any respiratory drops that you may put out, and think of those as when you breathe out on a cold day, what you can see in the air, That's your respiratory drops, and the mask can keep those from contaminating people, surfaces, and objects. Let me be clear, wearing a mask does not replace other important measures. If you are showing any COVID-related symptoms, you must still isolate. Other measures, such as physical distancing, whenever feasible, frequent hand washing, and covering any coughs or sneezes are still essential. Think of masks as that last line of defense in the event other measures are not possible. As I mentioned yesterday, guidance is available online that provides some general tips on how to properly wear and care for non-medical masks, as well as some general advice on how to create your own if you wish to have a cloth mask. I strongly encourage you to review these guidelines and to think about where in your daily routines you might be able to adopt the use of masks. Taking public transit to and from work, or stocking up on groceries are a few examples. Please consider mask usage in any public situation to limit the risk to those around you. In the coming days, I will have more information to share with you on this. We are entering a new world together, and we will succeed by supporting each other through the challenges that relaunch presents. We have never needed each other more than we do now, and we will get through this together.